Hi guys, it is Carla and Hannah. Say hi. Oh, that was a good wave. You want to say hi again? Hi. Hi. Good wave. Good wave. So today is November 6th. And Hannah is 13 and a half months old. Hi. So, I've had a lot of requests for a Trying to Conceive update. Good job, Hannah. Good job. Yeah. And I wanted to explain why I haven't made one. But first, let's back up and go to my my meeting with the Reproductive Endocrinologist. So, she just walked away. All right, sorry about that. Hannah has been corralled. Okay, so I went to my reproductive endocrinologist and it was very surreal going back there. It was almost like muscle memory driving there because when I left home, I was like, how do I get there? And where do I park? And what exit do I take? And I just started going and I was very unsure, but it was such a weird feeling to like drive into that parking garage and walk to the elevators. Like, I can't even put it really into words, but it was just like the last time I did that, I was so scared that I was never going to be a mom, like that it was never going to work. And as much hope as I tried to have, every time I would go for an appointment, there was always that fear that they wouldn't find anything, or that I didn't produce a follicle, or didn't respond, or that even though I got a positive pregnancy test, that there wasn't going to be anything there. Like, there was just, I would be so hopeful, and then I would get to that parking garage, and just this wave of fear would wash over. And it was the same thing this time. I got there and I was just like, what is she going to say? And is she going to tell me it's too soon? And is she going to tell me that, you know, I have to wait a certain amount of months before I can try again? Like, what if? So Chris and I drove separately because my appointment was on a Friday morning and I was going to go to work that afternoon. So Chris and Hannah drove and I drove from home. And then, I went to work and he went back home with Hannah. So I didn't have anyone to talk to on the way to the appointment, and it was really getting in my head. I was really kind of messing with my mind. So I got there, and thankfully there was no one else in the waiting room because I did feel very guilty about having to bring Hannah. I really wanted Chris at this appointment, and you know, we don't have a babysitter on hand for Hannah, so she had to come with us. So we waited till the last minute for Chris and Hannah to come in, but thankfully no one else was there, so that was good. You know, when I was waiting in the waiting room back when I was trying to conceive, seeing babies didn't upset me, because I assumed that the moms were there to try to have another baby. What upset me was seeing the occasional pregnant woman. That's what was kind of weird. So I wasn't as scared about bringing Hannah, but I know that some people are sensitive to that. So anyway, but it was fine. So we went back for the appointment. They weighed me, they took my blood pressure, my temperature, and then we started talking. And, you know, I wanted to just get back on Femara, do another IUI, and, you know, we kind of knew what dosage I needed. So let's just start at the same dosage that worked and see what happens. But here's the problem. She doesn't want me to take Femara if I'm breastfeeding. So I think this is where I need to explain why I want to start trying to conceive now. So I'm still breastfeeding Hannah. I am trying to wean her. That's a whole different video about weaning. But at the time, when I went to that appointment, I was not trying to wean. Hannah wasn't a year old yet. And I really wanted to make it to a year. That was extremely important to me. But I wanted to get back on medication because most women, when they're 6 weeks postpartum or something, they go to the doctor and the doctor puts them on birth control. And that kind of, for most women, helps regulate out their hormones. I can't go on hormonal birth control because of my clotting disorder. I can't be on that type of birth control, which really sucks because when I am on birth control, My PCOS symptoms are very minimal. I lose weight very easily, and I just generally am on a more even keel. I'm on a more even hormonal keel. And so not being on any form of birth control this past year has really been difficult. It's been difficult as far as, sorry, I have a twitchy eye the past couple weeks. It's been difficult as far as my PCOS symptoms. It's been difficult as far as like food cravings in regards to like insulin resistance, that kind of thing. Weight gain. It's been difficult, and I wasn't planning on this. I was planning on, as soon as I had the baby, getting back on some sort of birth control. But then I got the diagnosis and it kind of threw everything out of whack. So, because I'm breastfeeding, my progesterone is low. And here, this whole video, if you're watching a TTC video, you should know that this is like all TMI. And this part is very TMI. So I started cycles, I think in May. I did a whole video about my cycles. And the first one was beautiful and it was normal and I felt so amazing because my body was working right. It was a normal 28-day cycle. And then June was a little weird and July was very weird. Basically, long story short, I've kind of just been bleeding all summer. It's been very hard to tell when cycle day 1 is, if I'm just not ovulating at all. It's just been impossible because my progesterone is so low that I'm just bleeding all the time. And my progesterone again is low because I'm breastfeeding. So I really wanted to not necessarily quit breastfeeding, but I wanted to get back on some sort of fertility medicine and get cycles going because I'm tired of not having a cycle and instead just bleeding all the time. So let me clarify that I know it sounds like I want to try to conceive again because I'm tired of bleeding all the time. But in all honesty, Chris and I, we want a large family, and we discussed trying to conceive again when Hannah was 1. But we were going to try to conceive maybe naturally for a couple months and then go back to fertility medicine. But, because my cycles are crazy like they are, we decided to pursue medicated cycles a little sooner than we intentionally had planned. But now that we're having to wean beforehand, we're basically kind of on the same time frame that we were originally looking at. So I guess it all worked out the way it was supposed to, but I just wanted to clarify that because it sounds like I'm trying to conceive because I'm tired of having crazy cycles. Kind of true, but not completely. You understand. You guys get it. Anyways, back to the story. Like, it just sucks. I imagine, and the thing is, the part that's really hard is that you can't, it's like impossible to Google. Because anytime you Google like postpartum bleeding, they're referring to the first 6 weeks. They're not referring, it's hard to find like your first cycle postpartum lasts for 95 days. Should I be worried? That kind of thing. So anyway, so I talked to my reproductive endocrinologist about this. I said, like, my cycles have been really long. Like, I bleed for like 3 weeks and then I have a couple days off and then I start bleeding again. And I'm like, well, okay, I guess that's a new cycle. And she wasn't concerned about this at all. She was just like, well, get Hannah weaned and we'll start you on fertility medicine and then we'll go from there. But I'm like, oh, no, because I don't have plans to wean Hannah yet and I didn't want to wean her. I didn't realize that there was going to be an issue with Femera and breastfeeding. So the reason why, let me get to the point. The reason why I didn't talk to you guys about this is because I value your input on so many things, but my breastfeeding relationship and when I start fertility medicine is a very personal decision. And I didn't want any feedback on it. I didn't want any, well, you should do this, or you should try this, or it just needed to be something that I thought about, and I figured out what I wanted to do. And, my husband and I talk about it and figure out what works best for our family, because it's just, when you stop breastfeeding is such a personal decision. It really is. I mean, sometimes it's totally up to the baby and the baby's just done. And other times, you know, supply issues are the problem. But anyway, it's just been a really kind of soul-searching time. So basically what's happening is I'm weaning Hannah. I think I'm on cycle day 10. Again, it's kind of hard because it just stops for a couple days and then it starts back up and I'm like, well, I guess I'll count that as cycle day 1. So I think I'm on like cycle day 10. Hannah, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't pull that down again. Scoot, scoot, scoot. Nope. Here. Look. Who's that sad baby? Yeah, baby. There's a baby. That's baby Hannah. Say hi, baby Hannah. Hi, baby Hannah. Hey, Hannah. Where's my eye? Eye. Nose. And eye. 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 Very good. That's so clear and crisp. Eye. Very good. That's not so clear and crisp. Necklace. Where's my nose? Where's my nose? Boobs.
Dada.
Oh, that's not a picture of Dada. So, I'm hoping to finish weaning Hannah during this cycle. Possibly try to conceive naturally this cycle. And then start medicine next cycle. Hopefully Hannah will be totally weaned and I just start the Femera cycle day 3 through 7. So I'm sad about having to wean Hannah. It's sad. It's really sad. Especially because I felt like I had to choose between Hannah and our future baby, you know? But Hannah seems to be handling it very well. Again, I will do a whole different video about weaning, but Hannah seems to be totally okay with it, which is why I feel a little bit better about our decision. And we should start medicated cycles probably, I guess, Thanksgiving. So maybe we'll conceive on the first time and Hannah and the baby will have the exact same birthday. Who knows? But that's what it looks like. And I'm bummed because I really wanted to try to conceive earlier this summer and it just keeps getting pushed back because the weaning process has been slow. I wanted to take it slow. Hannah has wanted to take it slow. So it's just kind of pushed things back. And that's kind of where we're at. I thank you guys so much for being patient about the Trying to Conceive update. Like I said, it's just something that I needed to take some time and really think about because it's just a really personal decision. And yeah, so that's that. But I am excited that she was all for trying Femera again. She was all for doing IUI straight from the beginning. She didn't think that we needed to do a separate semen sample. You know, they will do a count and give us some ratings and stuff before the IUI, so that's great. And yeah. Oh, just in case I get a question about why am I doing IUI, my husband does not have any issues with his sperm sample. He actually has a really good sperm sample. But it's really hard to get me to ovulate, and like last time, hey, I don't want you going back there. Up. She didn't like being told no. Oh well. It's hard to get me to ovulate, and even if I have a perfect follicle, perfect ovulation, perfectly timed IUI, it still took 3 of them to conceive Hannah. So I don't know if I'm hostile. I don't know if it's the clotting disorder, but you know, it took 7 cycles for us to conceive Hannah, and I think she just kind of wants to take it easy on us this time. So, woo! We still do timed IUI or timed BD, so that helps things. Yeah, don't touch the screen. That's not good for it. But that's why we do IUI, because it just improves our chances because it's hard for me to conceive. So anyway, that that is it. If you have any questions regarding trying to conceive or weaning, leave them below. I'll try to do a weaning video soon. She's not fully weaned yet, so I'll probably wait until she's weaned, which will be in the next couple weeks. So if you have any questions about the weaning process, leave them below. And if you have any questions about trying to conceive or Femera or anything like that, why do you do this? Why do you do X, Y, Z? Leave them below. And I think that's about it. Talk to you later, guys.